Hi, I'm Alex Starrett. My speech is on the IFA, a terrorist cell in Italy. Terrorism, to the typical American, generally means an outside threat, a stranger from an unknown foreign culture with violent religious beliefs. But in many countries, terrorism is a much more domestic threat. Living in America, it's hard to imagine living next door to a terrorist. We tend to think of terrorists as bearded jihadists bent on suicide bombing Middle Eastern mosques, but that's hardly the case. In Italy alone, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of terrorist groups operating discreetly in neighborhood homes and shop fronts throughout the countryside. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you an overview on a terrorist cell in Italy known as the Informal Anarchist Federation, a terrorist organization formed in 2003 operating out of Italy. The IFA is composed of multiple terrorist cells, most of them holding anarchist leanings. There are 5 core groups: the July 20th Brigade, the 5 Cs, International Solidarity, the Cooperative of Handmade Fire and Related Items, and the May 22nd group. There are countless lesser groups, but these 5 are the most significant and vehemently violent. The 5 Cs specifically targets jails and CO officers, responsible for 7 jail bombings in the last 5 years alone. The Cooperative of Handmade Fire and Related Items is responsible for numerous letter bombs sent to Italian officials. They've recently begun branching out to communist groups, seemingly against their core anarchist beliefs. It's not known why. We only know that they're doing this because they told us. The most significant communist group is the New Red Brigade, a violent Marxist organization. They target high-ranking businessmen and politicians in Italy, assassinating them at their workplace. The groups involved work both as a whole under the IFA and as independent organizations. The IFA uses a horizontal power structure, meaning there is no clear leader. More experienced members may be more directly involved in the planning, but the entire group is kept in the loop and is involved with all attacks. This makes them harder to bring down without a main leader because the entire group shares all knowledge and command. Individual groups are free to make their own alliances and join coalitions outside of the IFA, and it's believed that this is how they recruit new groups to their ranks. With such a vague organization, it is difficult to know the inner workings of the IFA. They make it a point to keep much of their activity a secret. They have claimed a number of attacks in Italy and a few internationally. They have claimed responsibility for 3 Italian tax collectors' office bombings since 2003. 1 attack blinded a woman and 10 people were injured overall. On May 12th, the IFA performed a drive-by shooting targeting Roberto Adinolfi, a power plant executive. Both of his kneecaps were intentionally shot out. It was claimed to be an act of revenge, but no one knows why or how. Internationally, the IAF has been very active as of 2012. There has been a car bombing in Bolivia of a military barracks and a car dealership, numerous car bombings in Mexico and Greece, and on May 30th, 2012, there was an attack on a British railway system which disrupted traffic for weeks. They've sent several threatening letters to officials in Argentina, Greece, and the United Kingdom, and 3 letter bombs have been intercepted to the Prime Minister since February alone. The IFA is a very loosely organized, destructive threat to democratic societies everywhere. According to the MIPT terrorist knowledge base, it is Europe's fastest growing terror threat despite their source of funding being unknown. With their international connections steadily rising, it is likely that this group will continue to gain significance in the coming years. That's it.
Thank you, Alex.
Proud of you, son.